rare and very reluctant praise there. The media applauding, at least momentarily, President Trump after the stunning announcement from South Korea that their northern neighbors are agreeing to put denuclearization on the table. But how soon will the mainstream media flip the script? Here now to discuss is Joe Concha, the Hill media reporter. Joe, what's your take?
Well, you said we're waiting for him to flip, Melissa.
Right.
They flipped. All right. If you
Yeah.
watched a lot of morning shows this morning on cable news, for instance, this narrative was actually pushed. All right. And I hope you're sitting down because this is a lot to unpack here.
Yeah.
A conclusion was made that the president is trying to deflect away from some personal issues in terms of chaos in the White House or Stormy Daniels, and decided to contact the South Koreans on a whim and said, hey, look, I know these guys to your north have been your enemies. Basically, for 70 years, you've been at war with them. But could you call them, and particularly Kim Jong Un, and see if he's available to do one-on-one talks with the president who has taunted you openly since he took office? And they're saying that this all occurred now, that the North Koreans agreed to it, that the South Koreans decided to go ahead with it. A big conspiracy theory because Trump is trying to actually deflect away from his own controversies. This was actually pushed on cable news today, and it's utterly remarkable that people were agreeing with it.
Can you imagine if the right claimed he had that much power, that he could cause this meeting to deflect? Then they would say, how can you say he would be that powerful? I mean, that's how ridiculous this is, that if he was powerful enough to do that, to create this summit, then wow. I mean, by their own admission, then he really is, you know, the most amazing deal maker and negotiator of all time then, because this is something that other presidents haven't been able to arrange, right?
Well, we're looking at President Clinton, who did actually arrange a peace deal with North Korea, and all that did was lead to them continuing to pursue their nuclear program to the point where we see it now. We saw President Bush using very measured language. We saw the previous President Obama do the same thing. Then President Trump just last summer talks about how North Korea will be met with a fire and fury like it's never seen before. And that rhetoric was supposed to lead to World War III. People were saying, oh, my goodness, the way he's speaking right now is going to cause some real problems. And instead, now we're at a moment here where you have a U.S. president sitting down with a North Korean leader for the first time ever while in office. This is historic, and to paint it any other way just shows you how the media in any situation, not all, some, we played some clips there that were showing praise,
for the
where
moment,
there's a reflex to the negative no matter how positive the story is.
No, in the moment, they were so stunned, they had to kind of accurately reflect on what was going on. But then when they had time overnight, I guess, to sit back, I did miss the morning shows on the other cable channels. You're right about that. When they had a chance to sort of think on it.
Everybody that had heard it, Melissa.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody who had heard what was said this morning was dumber for having heard it.
Well, there you go. What do you think about, so Joy Behar calling Vice President Pence, I guess, and apologizing for the comments that she made that kind of went everywhere. What is your take on that? Was she pressured by the network, not because she insulted Mike Pence, but because perhaps the network realized that there are actually people out in the wider country that believe in God, as opposed to, I guess, Joy Behar and how she made fun of the vice president?
Sure, Melissa. For what my sources tell me, this wasn't about ABC, the network. It went to a much higher being, and I don't mean God. I mean Bob Iger, who runs Disney. And apparently he was very upset and got a lot of backlash at a shareholders meeting in Houston yesterday. And actually, this is the definition of throwing somebody under the bus. He said, oh, yeah, Joy Behar apologized to the vice president. I confirmed that with my own sources at the White House, that conversation did occur. But the problem I think some people may have with this apology is that, look, if you're going to make the slur in public on The View in front of millions of people, you better make the apology in the same venue as well, or else it doesn't have as much impact. I'm not quite sure why this was kept secret and why Behar isn't apologizing publicly as opposed to privately.
That's interesting. Joe Concha, thank you.